You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming. Some know me on Twitter, The Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Temptation's Ballad. So guys, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Please sit back and enjoy for the next 18 minutes while we're entertaining, and let's jump right in. Oh yeah, that's right, we're meeting Sid's parents. Yay, let's do it. Alright. Okay. Yup, I fed her some table scraps this morning. She really likes the leftover cheese from my dad's cheese shop. That explains why it's so ridiculously round. Artemy approached the toad and bowed deeply. It is an honor to meet you, Lady Betsy. Ribbit! Ribbit! Ah! She speaks! Cole, don't be rude, say hello. I am not bowing to the damn frog. Ah, you don't have to. You don't have to. Betsy doesn't really talk. Wait, is this just a random frog you found off the ground? It's not a familiar at all? It's not a familiar at all, is it? Hey! Betsy has been a dear family friend for years. She's always in the same spot in front of our house every day and night. Are you sure this thing ain't dead? Malus slithered down Cole's leg and squinted at Betsy with dismay. To think these mortals are comparing me to disgusting vermin like you. You not look so smug, mortal trash. I can end you in an instant. Betsy peered back at Malus, completely unmoving. Well-round mortal, do not ignore your superior. Betsy simply stared back blankly. Malus shivered and suddenly retreated. Such resolve, such stoicism. I can see it in your deep, dark eyes. You are filled with wisdom far beyond your years. Very well, round mortal. You have won my begrudging respect. Are you fucking kidding me? Why does this frog get more respect than I do? You shall earn your respect when you learn to act with dignity, puny mortal. I concur with your familiar's advice. You should heed its wisdom, Cole. Though you're a man of good merit, you could do with a more dignified code of honor. I don't need your sass, Nighty. I know you're still salty about yesterday. Artemy blinked blankly. I don't believe I consume an excessive amount of salt in my diet. Should I be worried? Cole sighed and rubbed his temples. He was suddenly hit with the realization that he was surrounded by a group of lame nitwits. How did his life come to this? With a grumble, Cole yanked Malus back into his pocket before dragging everyone through the tavern door. Alrighty, enough with the animal show and tell. Didn't you say there would be free food? Upon closer inspection, Sparrow's Roost Tavern was almost the exact opposite of the Bonebreakers Guild in almost every tavernish way. The place was clean and well lit, with polite waiters bustling about serving relaxed customers. Mouth-watering food and drink were steaming from every table. The complete lack of drunken shouting almost felt like whiplash. Sid glanced between his companions with nervous anticipation. Welcome to my home. My family lives on the second floor here. It's not much compared to the Bonebreakers Guild and the Grand Cathedral, but it's cozy enough. You kidding me? This place is perfect. The floors are clean. I can actually hear myself talk without shouting. I should come visit more often, though this place might be a bit too family-friendly for me. Really? You think so? I never thought too much of it. Sid felt Artemy shuffle behind him nervously. The young knight was peering about her surroundings like a cornered animal. Is Mrs. Shrikewood here? I do hope to make a good first impression. Oof! As Artemy anxiously shuffled about, her elbow knocked a vase off a nearby table. The sharp sound of shattering glass cut through the quiet tavern like a knife. Dozens of workers and patrons glanced up in her direction. Artemy felt her entire body freeze up. She stared back stiffly like a frozen deer. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, Sid, you're here already. Why didn't you say something? Or was that his dad? No, aw, with his parents, okay. A pair of small birds hurriedly fluttered down the stairs and greeted them with giddy laughter. Artemy and Cole stared blankly. They had expected to meet a pair of tall, hulking badgers like Sid. This was certainly a surprise. Hello, it's wonderful to finally meet you two. Welcome to our humble little tavern. Sid has told us all about you. The elder man beamed at Artemy and Cole with uncontained joy. By the Creator, it's true. Real non-frog friends. The two parents exchanged triumphant high fives behind their backs. Oh, where are our manners? I'm Ilya, and this is my husband, Renee. Or Rennet? Probably, I'm going to say Renee. Artemy stiffened before bowing deeply. Greetings, I am Artemy Johanna Gautier. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Ilya and Renee simultaneously let out a smitten, "Aww." What a polite young lady. A real-life holy knight under our roof. What a delight! Look at that shiny sword and armor. Oh, this is wonderful! Artemy felt her face flush. She awkwardly shuffled behind Sid with a timid bow. Sid offered her an embarrassed smile and shrugged. Sorry, my parents can be a little smothering sometimes. They mean well, though. Artemy gave a small nod. I understand. I was just taken by surprise, that's all. Meanwhile, Ilya had moved on to pinching Cole's cheeks like he was a child. Oh, Lord. Ah, you must be the son of the legendary mercenary that Sid's always prattling about. My, you're as cute as a button. Hey, hands off! I take it that you're the leader of this little adventuring party? Thank you so much for taking care of our little Sid. It's good to know he's in capable hands. Sid's face was a deep pink as he pried Cole out of his mother's pinchy clutches. You're embarrassing me. Act cool. Didn't you say you were gonna make snacks for everyone and stuff? Oh, how could I forget? Ilya's been fussing over food prep all morning. Oh, Ilya's been fussing over food prep all morning. You're all in for a treat. Come on, join upstairs. The two birds beckoned them eagerly. Artemy cleared her throat and raised her hand with a hint of guilt. Before we go, She gestured towards the pile of broken ceramic on the floor. I accidentally knocked over your vase on my way in. My deepest apologies. I understand if you no longer wish for me to join your gathering. Ilya let out an amused cackle. Oh my goodness, what a sweetie pie! Don't even worry about it. I deal with worse from my regulars. She flicked a feathered hand towards the broken pieces, sparks of magic shimmering from her fingertips. Mending. A gentle glow filled the ceramic shards. They suddenly shuddered and began puzzling themselves back together. Cole watched in amazement. With another flash of light, the cracks of ceramic sealed themselves. The surface of the vase shimmered with a polished sheen as good as new. Whoa, that's amazing! Aw, it's nothing much really, just some basic bardic magic. Ilya peered closer at Cole. Her smile widened. And if my senses are not deceiving me, I believe I see a fellow bard within you. A wave of panic suddenly hit Cole. What? What are you talking about? I don't know any magic. Behind him, Sid was frantically making the timeout gesture at his mother. Ilya was taken aback for a moment before smiling. Ah, I see. Your secret is safe with me. I don't know what your reasons are for hiding your gifts, but let me assure you that you should be proud of your bardic abilities. It is an elusive and cunning class of magic. Cole cleared his throat loudly. Wow, Mrs. Shrikewood, did you used to be a bard? The magical kind, I mean. Why, yes. I used to get into all sorts of trouble in my younger days as a traveling bard. If you'd like, I can teach you some of the tricks I know. Excitement fluttered in his chest, even as Cole attempted to swallow it back down. That would be great! I mean, if I were a magical bard, but that would be really cool. But I'm not, so, yeah. Renee suddenly clapped his hands and gestured towards the stairs. That's enough standing around. That food's gonna get cold. Let's hurry up and eat. Cole, don't be a dummy. Take her magic classes or whatever she's offering. Cole's mouth watered as he shoveled another helping of cheesy potatoes into his hungry maw. His taste buds were singing, and his entire being was on the verge of tears from sheer ecstasy. This is the most delicious thing I've ever tasted. He wiped the tears from his eyes and continued wolfing down his food. Illy chuckled as she added another plate of hot sandwiches to the table. My, what a flatterer! Eat as much as you'd like, my dear. There's plenty more. I usually cook a lot to feed this big guy over here. Mom? Sid flushed and scratched his head. I mean, Mom's cooking is good, but surely it's not as mind-blowing as you're making it out to be. Come on, man. You didn't grow up with Hamish's dirty cooking. This is heavenly. You don't even know how good you've got it, do you? The other mercenaries don't cook. Cole stuffed half a sandwich down his throat and shrugged. Just throw things in the oven and hope for the best. Most of the time our dinner is just salad and burnt meat. Cole suddenly felt the weight shift in his pocket as Malus slithered out onto the table. The black snake flicked his tongue curiously at the food before attempting to snatch a small piece of ham. Dude, what are you doing? Snake ignored him and struggled at mouthing the ham for several moments before spitting it back out. Curse this horrid body! I cannot chew any of this delicious food! Puny mortal, you must eat in my stead! Are you crying? I was so looking forward to enjoying the pleasures of the material plane. Food and drink, sightseeing, and maybe a hot bath. Words cannot describe my utter distraught. The little snake uncoiled and flopped his head melodramatically. Puny mortal, you must eat in my stead. Our senses are linked, so I'm able to taste whatever you taste. Alas, it is not the same as eating myself, but it will have to do. Cole sighed and began buttering another slice of cheesy toast. Am I going to be compensated for my tour guide services? Your payment in the satisfaction of a job well done. Ow! Malus wiggled indignantly as Cole flicked a chunk of hot cheese at his face. Fool! You are wasting this precious food! The snake turned towards Ilya and Renee and bowed deeply. Esteemed mortals, your culinary skills are truly awe-inspiring. Thank you for inviting us into your abode. The two old birds exchanged surprised looks. My, what a polite little pet you have there. Thank you for the kind words. It's gratifying to have my cheese-making skills finally be recognized. Cole glanced up between bites of food. Are you a cheesemaker? Haven't seen you eat a lick of stuff since we got here. Renee's head slumped in a deep melancholy. Indeed, I am a cheesemaker. Alas, I was born with a curse of lactose intolerance and cannot even taste my own creations. At least not without dire repercussions. You chose to become a cheesemaker despite being unable to eat it? What drove you to do such a thing? Renee pulled out his chest feathers proudly. Sometimes life deals you an unfair hand of cards, and I cannot help but fight back out of spite. Cheesemaking is my passion. Few treasures in the world can equal the creamy goodness of well-made cheese. Let's be a lesson to you youngins. Never give up on your dreams, no matter the consequences you encounter. Speaking of which, I must take my leave. Axia's annual Firefly Festival begins tomorrow, and I must prepare my cheese cart for the occasion. If I manage to impress a few nobles with my exquisite cheese, I might finally get an investor for the cheese shop of my dreams. Sounds like a losing battle, honestly. Who's going to invest in a lactose-intolerant cheesemaker? Ow! Cole winced as Artemy kicked him under the table. Renee was already halfway out the door and didn't hear any of it. Farewell, youngins. Thank you again for taking care of our little Sid. Dad? Ah, he left. Ilya smiled as she made her way around the table to refill everyone's teacups. Your father is right. We were so worried when you said you wanted to become an adventurer. It's such a dangerous occupation. But now that we know you have such capable companions, I can worry a little less. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm still worried sick. Ilya reached out and clutched Artemy and Cole's hands tightly. Please take care of my little boy. He's my only son. I can't stand the thought of him getting hurt. Sid is a big, strong boy, but he's got a sensitive side. Needs someone to look out for him. Won't you two humor an old bird and promise to look out for little Sid for me? Cole and Artemy stared in shock. Ilya's eyes were furrowed in a deep, pleading anxiety. Artemy's chest lurched painfully with an ugly feeling, but she swallowed it back down. Mom! Don't do this in front of my new friends! Very well, Lady Ilya. Your compassion and concern for your son is truly inspiring. I pledge to support and protect Sid to the best of my ability. I swear it upon my honor as a holy knight. Yeah, what she said. Ilya let out an adoring coo. Ooh, Sid, your friends are so cute! Sid buried his face in his bowl of porridge with a groan. Any dignity of coolness I hope to have in this adventuring party is dead. Aw, don't sweat it, little baby Siddy. You're safe with a... Sid tried to sob, but choked as he accidentally inhaled a lungful of porridge. And then he died. As the party cheerfully continued wolfing down their food, Ilya made certain to speak to each of them privately. Now, who should she talk to first? Why does it matter? Huh, that's interesting. Sid. No, let's talk to Cole. So, bardic magic, how exactly does it work? Ilya had ushered Cole aside to a table lined with several glass bottles. The old bird's eyes beamed with enthusiasm. She was clearly thrilled to pass on her magical skills to a youngster. Cole couldn't help but smile reluctantly. A chance to be openly excited about magic. It was a nice feeling. See here, Cole. Bards are a peculiar class of magic users. We're not as flashy as those fireball-shooting wizards, nor are we as supportive as clerics with their healing spells. Our greatest strength is with our cunning minds and subtle misdirection. Ilya clapped her hands together with a sly grin. Young man, I'm about to teach you the most useful spell in a bard's arsenal. Mage Hand. Cole squinted, unimpressed. Isn't that just a weak cantrip that moves stuff around? Indeed, yet with a bit of creativity, this spell can easily save lives and turn battles. It's also very useful for cleaning up the kitchen and for other chores. The possibilities are endless. Ilya's voice suddenly dipped dangerously low. Many years ago, I spotted a gang of neighborhood hooligans bullying my young son. He was just a wee child back then. With the power of Mage Hand, I invisibly bitch-slapped those suckers from 30 feet away. Repeatedly. Run as they might, those hooligans never escaped my grasp. and thus the legend of the bitch-slapping ghost persists amongst the Market District children to this day. You beat up a bunch of kids? Listen, dearie, you don't fuck with my son. I am fully prepared to throw hands with a child if I must. Yeah, I mean, I would never do anything that puts Sid in danger. I'm just that kind of responsible boss. Cole gulped. Anyway, how does Mage Hand work? Ilya gestured towards the kitchen table that was lined with bottles. Imagine within your mind the shape of a hand. Now reach out with your arcane magic and imagine that hand grasping one of those bottles. Ilya flicked out her hand in demonstration. Soundlessly, one of the bottles began floating in the air as though lifted by an invisible force. Whoa, that's pretty cool! Keep in mind, dear, that Mage Hand is still a rather weak cantrip and can only lift around 5 pounds. Why don't you give it a try? Cole stepped forward, clenching and unclenching his hands self-consciously. Okay, just reach out with my mind, right? I got this. Cole raised an open palm and furrowed his brows. Wisps of magic flickered from his hand as he concentrated on a bottle on the table. One of the bottles abruptly toppled over and spilled cider onto the kitchen floor in a waterfall of ale. I did it! Kinda? Oof, sorry for the mess, Mrs. Shrikewood. Excellent job for your first attempt, dearie. Don't even worry about it. Just keep practicing and you'll get the hang of it in no time. Illy magically vanished and cleaned the spill with a dismissive wave of her hand. Cole watched her casual spellcasting with fascination. Whoa, that's so cool. Sure wish we could magically clean stuff back home. This would be so useful at the bar. And the supply closets. I'm sure I could teach you that as well, young man. Cleaning objects is one of the functions of prestidigitation. No, it's not that. It's just, my papa's got a pretty traditional mindset about magic. He's always going on about how magic is for the weak and all that good jazz. Ilya raised her brow with a hint of amusement. What utter hogwash! Magic is a part of you that must be trained and mastered, just like those muscles your father is so proud of. You owe it to yourself to nurture your strengths, dear. Would you like me to give your father a firm talk? I can be quite persuasive. Cole almost snorted out a laugh before disguising it as a cough. You, against my papa? He eyed the tiny woman doubtfully. Ilya laughed and puffed up her feathers proudly. Oh, don't you worry about me, lad. I'm not afraid of a few buff men. I deal with worse every night within this very tavern. I'll give it some thought. Thanks, Mrs. Shrikewood. Would you mind if I drop by occasionally for more magic lessons? Friends of my little Sid are always welcome here. Oh, I can't wait to teach you all the tricks I've learned in my youth. We bards ought to stick together. Cole nodded eagerly. A place where he could be openly excited about magic. He felt a surprising amount of weight lift from his shoulders at the mere thought of it. As the party cheerfully continued wolfing down their food, Ilya made certain to speak to each of them privately. Now, who should she talk to first? Well, second. Sid, Artemy. Alright, first I'm gonna pause it right here, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or a tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!